one, but it seems like to me that those elected officials who are representing that area, number one, they would see the good work that you guys have done in maintaining good stewardship over what you've been placed with, and then being, good parents over your children. However, and it's not been a situation where you have gone forth and sometimes as they stereotype mothers going out there with pink bedroom slippers and pink rollers with a house coat on, saying my scooter didn't do anything and lambasting the teacher. That was not the situation. There was a coalition, seemingly, because I was there, working with the systems and to bridge the gap between the educational divide. And to come to find out, really, it wasn't the educational divide based upon the parenting skills or the environment of the parents. It was due to the targeting of the administration to create an oppressed community. And whoever the administrators were during that time, was it Carter or whatever his name was, or Gene Carter just left?
No, we came under Roy D. Nichols and Dr. Simpson.
Okay, but those individuals basically took orders from somebody, because this is not germane just to Norfolk. This is a nationwide problem in America, that our children are not reading and faring as well as other children in America. And see, they tipped their hand when they said that they have the ability, and these tests have been going on since 1956, that they can determine your academic skills by third grade. And if you're not reading on the level as to where you're supposed to be, and adding in math where you're supposed to be, they can determine whether or not to build more schools or build prisons. And for some reason, it seems that communities like Park Place, who were good communities, have been created to be dumbed down, creating a frustration that will cause these children to drop out at 10th grade and become victims of the system.
Carlos, over 18 years ago, we were in a parent meeting where they tried to get us to sign papers saying that by the third grade our children would not be reading and writing. And so in that meeting, we spoke out and asked them to explain exactly what it was that they were saying, because some of the parents didn't simply understand what they were saying. But when I brought it out and said, are y'all telling us that you want us to sign papers to build more jails for our children who are honest and innocent babies right now, who have not committed crimes, that we walked and we looked at and was able to say to our children, right now you're set up for jail, you're set up to die, you are set up for criminals, and they just wanted to sign papers for more jails. Well, in that meeting 18 years ago, we stood up and stood out and said, no, we want you to build more facilities for our children to be educated in, more places for them to go in to be able to do art, to do other activities, everything that could make their mind productive, and we needed your help, and we did not get it. The problem that we're having from 18 years ago and today is, number one, they do not want to hear the parents. I have a problem from the federal level all the way down to the local level, because I was a Title I parent. I exhausted school-wide, from Tidewater Park, from Monroe, and all over the city. We did everything that we were supposed to do and more. And when we expressed our concerns of what the federal government was paying money for our children, we told them then, we understand how the program operates, but we are not seeing it being done in the school. We wrote letters, they gave us papers to fill out, and not even to the day have the federal government have questioned what from the parent or anybody want to hear from the parent until you can hear from us with ears. It's just like our children. They don't want to hear what the children have to say. Right. They don't want to hear what the parents have to say, but yet they want to keep blaming. We're not going to blame it on no alcohol. We ain't going to blame it on anything other than we're going to take a stand because we did our homework. We know what we're talking about, and we trailblazed from 18 years to today, and we're going to continue to trailblaze until the school system and the whole system as a whole will change. And we're taking our stand, but the only problem is we don't have anybody that's standing with us.
In terms of the elected officials?
Oh, well, we're not even talking about the elected officials because, number one, we don't have enough parents educated to know about the voting process, but the vote officials just want us to vote them in, and then after they vote you in, they close you out. So it ain't even about us. They don't speak on issues, because when we heard about the failure rates, the officials should have stood out then and begin to speak out about failure, because failure, someone being paid for failure, you have not done your job. So no one is speaking out about the issues. It ain't about us. All they want is our vote, and then once they get our vote, it's forget you. You have deaf ears, you have eyes you can't see, and you got ears you don't hear, and that's okay. We don't have a problem with that, but we're going to take back what the enemy has stolen. They are children. We are the mothers. We birth our children. We did not birth them to die. We birthed them to live.
Amen to that. What do you think about this situation, whereas now the Norfolk Public Schools are trying to further attenuate or weaken the ability of a child by saying, okay, if you don't do any work, you get a 0. But they're going to start that 0 off at 61% to further pass them along in the process. Well, see, doesn't it make that child, whereas he gives him a sense of false hope that he's qualified to go out and to do world-class work, but he doesn't have a world-class education?
Well, Carlos, is this. That's not to help our children. It's just to appease those who are getting paid in the system. It's to make the failure not look so bad for them. But the beautiful part about it is when you bring it up to 61, then you're going to have too many of them making honor rolls and making A's and B's like we seeing coming home now. And you know what? And then you're going to have a problem because you got too many children with making honors, and these parents are being deceived by the grades, and the children still can't read and write. So that's just to make it look good, but it ain't no good.
Well, in terms of the broad award that Norfolk keeps talking about, in terms of the most improved from the academic standards, and they had the most improvement. This is another way of cooking the book, so to speak. We're going to take a word from our sponsors, and our phone lines are 624-9475. You desire to talk with the Mothers Against American Federation of Parents. We have overcome organizations Mothers Against Crime and Mothers United Together Against Crime International. And after that, we're going to go into today's message talking about the passion of vision. We'll be right back.
Faith Toward God is underwritten by Carlos A. Howard Funeral Service. Established in 1988 with the philosophy of doing more for less and taking the priority of people over profit. They offer a wide variety of services to meet needs in time of bereavement, including pre-planning and online services. They are located at 436 West 35th Street in Norfolk. You may visit them online, carlosahowardfuneralhomes.com. For more information, call 757-627-7914.
We're back, and thank you for your indulgence. Barbara, you are quite passionate in terms of your expressions, and as Priscilla has been sharing with us. Do you see any light at the end of this tunnel? Not perspective from the perspective of the administration doing anything, but do you see the hope that one day that we will have equal access for our children?
Of course I do, Carlos. I see a light at as they can say, at the end of that tunnel. It's not always dark. It's light there. And we're going to bring our children through that tunnel. And what I'm saying is that we've been working on this thing ever since back in the 90s. I'm going to say that. I know it's been that long. And we're looking for that. No, we're not looking for it. We're going to get them that world-class education that they so much need and desire. we're not going to hold our kids back. Like they say, no kid's going to be left behind. Of course they're not. Because we as a